I picked up a kid on the side of the road. The kid was pretty smart and remembered his brother's phone number. I took out my cell phone and dialed. Hello. I have your brother now. Across the street. Degree, plus or minus. I realized something was wrong and quickly explained. I think you know what I mean. Later. His brother came over. He was wearing a police uniform. I looked at the squatting little square eating cotton candy / lollipop and had a bit of a heart attack for a moment. On my way home from work. I didn't know when I had such a tail behind me. By the time I realized it. He couldn't find his home. Kid. Do you remember where home is? He blinked his eyes and said. No. I don't remember. I asked again. Degree, then do you know your mom and dad's cell phone numbers? He shook his head and I sighed. I was about to call the police when little Jintai pulled on the hem of my shirt. I remember my brother's cell phone number. I was almost moved to tears. This cold day I miss my nest. The kid's number memorized quite well. I reconfirmed with him once again and called. After about 3 rings. The other side picked up. Hello? Who is it? Oh. What a nice voice. I sighed for a second. And then got down to business. I've got your brother. He said. Opposite. I've been watching too many detective dramas lately. I quickly explained. You should understand what I mean. Right? When I was in a hurry. I couldn't get my tongue straight. And when I was in a hurry. The kid took the cell phone away from me. I froze for a moment. The next second. I heard the kid crying out. Brother. Brother. You come quickly. I'm so scared. Me. How can I explain it if you're like this? I was about to pick the phone back up when the kid had already touched the hang up button. A cold wind blew by. And I was alone and messy in the wind. His brother came. Still wearing his police uniform. I almost fell to my knees on the spot. I have to say. His brother was really handsome. With broad shoulders and a narrow waist. And an anti-terrorist elite face that killed me outright. Even the hair strands grew on my point. But I couldn't think about that much right now. He stood in front of me looking down at me and I raised my hands in a very conscious manner. Officer / sir. I'm a law-abiding citizen. He looked down at the little square boy hugging his leg and smiled when he looked up again. I know. You picked him up. Right? I nodded. He removed the scarf from little Masato's neck and handed it to me. What bad guy would give his scarf to a hostage? He smiled. Kind of nice. My face rubbed red. My name is Liam. If you don't mind. Can I buy you dinner? And? I should be about your age. Isn't it inappropriate to call me uncle? The meal didn't work out because Liam answered an urgent phone call and left in a hurry with the little man in his arms. Before leaving. We added each other's WeChat. Looking at his handsome back. I can't help but sigh. It's so good. Tonight there is material for dreaming again. I didn't expect to see Liam again so soon. A week later in the morning. I wrapped my coat to take the subway. But I was attracted by the various snacks I bought on the side of the road. The front of the stalls were full of people. I directly locked a food cart with no one in it. Boss? Have a fried. Eh? I looked at the big handsome guy with apron in front of me and froze. This person is so fucking familiar. The key person wasn't surprised at all and greeted me with a smile. Going to work? As soon as his voice came out. I remembered. Liam. I quickly reacted to this look of his, undercover cop. Crap. Such an exciting thing has been stumbled upon by me? I suddenly a little nervous. So what? You're busy. I won't bother you anymore. He shouted at me. Don't be nervous. There's nothing going on right now. Say. What do you want to eat? I briefly agonized for a few seconds. Then said. A mixed grain pancake / crepe with a sausage. Liam smiled. Good. 10 seconds later. I reminded him. You haven't fired yet. He froze for a moment. I told you. Why isn't it hot for half a day? I looked at his rusty technique with some skepticism. 10 minutes later. He handed me a pile of what could barely be called food. I carried what could be called an odd pancake / crepe and fell into a deep thought. Of course I wouldn't say anything because the person didn't charge me for it either. I walked away with the pancake/crepe. And within a few steps the cell phone in my pocket rang. I promised to buy you dinner last time. Do you have time tonight? The corners of my mouth rose uncontrollably as I looked at the WeChat sent by Liam. Subconsciously took a bite of the pancake/crepe in my hand. The smile on his face froze. How many layers of sauce did Liam put on this? It's so salty. When I got off work in the evening, Liam called very punctually. He asked me to meet him at a Chinese restaurant. I was there for about 10 minutes before he showed up in a hurry. It was snowing outside and his hair was wet. Sorry I'm late. I handed him a tissue and said, It's okay. I just got here too. The restaurant was decorated in my favorite style. Liam sat across from me and just handed me the menu when two more people came in at the door. A man and a woman. Talking and laughing. What bad luck. How did I run into this bastard? Ryan. My ex-boyfriend of a year. And his green tea-flavored girlfriend. I feel like I've swallowed a few flies. Liam glanced at me. What's up? Before I could say anything, I heard Ryan's understated voice. Yo. If it isn't Lila. He glanced lightly at Liam. What? Find your next family so soon? Damn. The punch was hard. Is it really hard to yell/shout in front of Liam? I was extremely torn up inside. The drama queen is still fanning the flames. This gentleman looks familiar to me. She says. He looks like the guy who sells pancake/crepe in front of my neighborhood. Me. It can't be that coincidental. She's in my neighborhood? I subconsciously looked at Liam and he shook his head at me without moving. Amazingly enough, the fire in my heart suddenly went out when I looked at his face. I smiled at Ryan and drama queen. So nosy. Huh? You two have to taste the saltiness of the garbage truck at the door. Don't you? Ryan's face changed and he was about to say something when the waiter came over in time to stop him. Mr. Ryan? Your reservation is over there. Please follow me. Some people around him were already looking this way. Ryan awkwardly coughed a few times and pulled drama queen away. He gave me a stern look before he left. Yeah. He hates me. After all. When we broke up, I printed out his valor in big letters and posted it on his company's bulletin board. Gee. That didn't play well just now. I looked up and was about to talk to Liam when I saw him staring at the back of that drama queen. Suddenly, my mood was not so beautiful. He noticed that I was looking at him and quickly looked back. That girl. I know her. I froze for a moment. Huh? He said. She's the one I've been squatting in front of your neighborhood for the past few days. I said. What? Liam explained to me. It's a mission. I can't tell you much. I quickly expressed my understanding, ignoring Ryan's appetizing stuff. I thought the meal was quite nasty. Liam was very good at finding topics of conversation. And there was hardly any chill. At the end of the day, he was the one who drove me home. Ah. I really have no resistance to such a polite man. What should I do? It's a bit heartwarming. Liam is busy at work and we seldom talk during the week. But every time we do, it's always a good time. That Saturday, Liam sent a message. Degree is today off? Me. Yes. He. Degree it's best not to go out today plus or minus. This sentence has no beginning and no end. But there was nothing I could do about it. I had period coming and I didn't have any stock at home yet. So I had to go to the neighborhood supermarket. As a result, I had just walked past 2 residential buildings when I was hit by red shorts falling from the sky. Me. Who is so unethical? How dare you throw things from a height? Or red shorts? I looked up angrily and locked eyes with Ryan on the 5th floor. I had the look of an old man on the subway looking at his cell phone. As for that Ryan, getting back at me that way? It's just. Something wasn't quite right with his expression. I looked at his urgent expression and then down at the red shorts in my hand with the words on them. Help. The next second Ryan was being dragged back into the room by his hair and someone was about to stick their head down to look. I nimbly scurried to a corner and crouched. What the hell? Not daring to delay much, I dialed Liam's number straight away and then gave a full account of what happened. His voice was a bit deep. "Where are you?" I looked around. Degree squatting downstairs. He instructed me not to move. Asked for the address and then said, "Don't be afraid. I'll be right there." This damn sense of security. My heart seemed to be beating a little unsteadily. The police arrived quickly. They didn't make much noise and quietly went upstairs. Not long after, there was a crackle from above. And then a group of people were handcuffed and escorted out. The bottom of the residential building is full of onlookers. I followed the side to watch the fun. "What's going on?" The old lady said. "It seems that a bunch of pyramid scheme members were arrested in one go." I was shocked. Pyramid scheme? While we were talking, those handcuffed people were taken away in a police car. Liam came out from the building. His superior body was also very bright in a group of police. There was one more person hanging off of him. Ryan. The intelligence service moms began to introduce to me. "That man. His girlfriend is engaged in pyramid scheme. He was tricked into Lou." I was a bit surprised. "You know all this?" Ryan, who was crying over there, was dragged down from Liam's body. I don't know why, but he was getting on my nerves. Liam looked around for a moment and then took a long stride towards me. He asked me, "Are you okay?" I looked at him blankly. "Yeah." He looked down and grabbed the red shorts out of my hand. "This is evidence. I have to take it back." My face rubbed red and I stammered, Okay. At this time I completely did not notice that the eyes of the surrounding Amazons were glowing. "Young man. How old are you this year? Little comrade. Are you married or not? Where does your family live?" Liam was soon surrounded by enthusiastic Amazons, while I was completely pushed out. It turned out that the Amazons had the same vision as I did. This gave me a weird sense of crisis. That wasn't all. The next day, my sense of crisis peaked. When this incident was reported by the media, the focus of the netizens underneath was completely skewed. All of them were brushing. "That little brother of the policeman in black is so handsome. Can the state assign a boyfriend like that? My God. I'm sure all the handsome ones have been handed over to the state. The guy they are talking about is Liam. Some people even took a screenshot of him. And I'm a passerby who's been mosaicked on the side. A bit of a heart attack. Turns out, there's nothing wrong with everyone's eyes. Liam is really popular. That's not good. Someone as close to the water as me hasn't gotten the moon yet." I was immediately hyper at the thought. I picked up my phone and stared at the dialog box with Liam. I typed and deleted the text. Deleted and typed again. Oops. A little wimpy. Buzz. The phone suddenly vibrated with a message from Liam. I sat up from my bed and stared wide-eyed at the message he sent. "Are you free tomorrow?" I typed. "I'm free. What's up?" I looked at the display above that said it was being typed, and for the first time I felt like the time was so hard to get through. "Liam. Can I ask you something?" The next day, I looked at the small positive man in front of me and fell into a deep thought. Ah yes. The kid I picked up earlier. His name is CJ and he is Liam's younger brother. "CJ. Let me take you to the playground today. Okay?" CJ looked up at me. "Sister. Where's my brother?" I touched his head. "Your brother has something to do today. He will come to pick you up in the afternoon." Liam said that he had no choice but to ask me to help him out because his auntie had taken the day off and he had to go to work. After all, he's just transferred here and doesn't have many friends yet. I, as a good young man of the new era, agreed without hesitation. To be honest, there was a bit of a loss in my heart. If I could bring a big friend and a little kid to play at the same time, then I would be more willing. When I went to buy the tickets, CJ was looking at the little girl eating cotton candy not far away. I followed his line of sight, knelt down and asked, "Does CJ want one?" CJ nodded. I smiled. "Degree sister, go get it for you then." As I was about to go over, CJ pulled on my sleeve and then looked at me with a serious expression. "Brother said that child trafficking is illegal." Me. Your brother knows how to educate children. His voice was quite loud and there were many people around. So I instantly gained countless eye daggers. An eager older man looked at me warily. Then kindly asked CJ. Kid. Do you know her? CJ looked at me and honestly said. Actually. I don't know her very well. Me. Degree, plus or minus. The older man asked again. Degree, do you know her name? CJ shook his head. Degree, don't know. Me. Degree, plus or minus. I mean, kids don't have to be so honest sometimes. I asked the older man. Degree, do you suspect that I am a human trafficker? Perhaps he had never seen such an honest trafficker before. The uncle gave me a surprised look. He bristled. Degree, the traffickers nowadays like to let young and good-looking girls like you out. For a moment I couldn't tell if he was complimenting me or scolding me. He tugged on CJ's arm, not letting him follow me. And justifiably so. What did you say this little friend's name was? Me. CJ. Him. What's his full name? Me. Don't know. But I really know him. Honestly. I'm kind of doubting myself. I looked like a real trafficker. As we were at a standstill, Liam's voice rang out behind me. Lila? CJ? His voice was laced with laughter. I've been looking for you guys. That's heavenly music. Isn't it? Brother. CJ threw herself happily into Liam's arms. The uncle was relieved to see that these two were brothers. He asked Liam. Do you know this girl? Oh. 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 I wanted to give him an award. Liam gave me a look. Yes. She's my girlfriend. I looked at him with wide eyes. The older man was also surprised. I don't think she knows your brother very well. Liam explained. I just dated her yesterday. The uncle suddenly understood and apologized to me. I waved my hand. After all, he meant well. After he left, I let out a long breath. I'm sorry. Liam said. I said you were my girlfriend because it would be too much trouble to explain. Trouble? I think it's okay. But it's not a bad thing. I'm the one who got the better end of the deal. Ha 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 ha. I held back from laughing out loud. I had to be reserved. 11. Liam came to see us since he said things were going well at the flat. He took CJ and I around the amusement park and tried out all the various rides. I swear, it was the most enjoyable weekend I've ever had. There were some hiccups in the middle of the ride. The amusement park was pretty crowded. And when it's crowded, there's bound to be some petty theft. Liam caught 3. I feel like the hero's glow shines even brighter on him. Ah. So heartwarming. Confess now? No. It's a bit sudden. But what if it works? He doesn't seem to hate me. I look at Liam, who's being thanked by the crowd not far away, and bite my nails off. There are 2 little people fighting inside. When Liam comes over I ask him. Do you do this a lot? He looks at me. What? I gestured with my hands. Walking the talk. He laughed at me. It's just a matter of strength. Don't you? Can't you? I thought for a moment. I can help a grandmother cross the street. Something suddenly flashed in my mind. I couldn't help but laugh. Speaking of doing good deeds, I've actually done one before. Liam smiled back. Tell me about it. I mysteriously lowered my volume. I used to save a lost teenager. 12. I was a sophomore in high school that year. My parents had been very strict with me since I was a kid. And they could scold me to death for failing a monthly exam. I remember the day I got the results of the monthly exam. I was 15 places behind. I didn't dare to go home after school. And wandered around the street alone, ready to wait for my parents' anger to subside before going back. As I walked around, it got dark. I followed the road and walked up to the bridge next to me. Not to mention, the view at night is quite good. The evening wind blew on me. A little cold, but sobering. I squinted and hummed a little. Ah. I'm in a better mood. As I was about to leave, I caught a glimpse of a dark shadow in the shadows to my left. Crap? I was startled. Whose puppy? You're the dog. The teenager's vicious voice startled me again. I swear. I didn't mean to be insulting. He was so skinny. His whole body was scrunched up and he looked like a stray dog. I saw that he was a few years younger than me. So I called out very familiarly. What are you doing here? Brother? He yelled at me. Get out. Hey. I'm so grumpy. I really think I have nothing better to do. I glared at him and turned to leave. But before I took a few steps, I heard a faint sobbing sound coming from behind me. No way. Crying ah? I turned my head to look at him, but saw that he slowly stood up and looked down at the dark water. Not good. I anticipated what he was going to do. And as soon as I threw my book bag away, I took a big step over and tackled the teenager who was about to jump into the river to the ground. I was angry. For no reason at all. So I cussed him out, using the Skills ID stolen from my parents. 20 minutes later, he was confused by my cursing. I let out a cloudy breath. Still a steady output today. 13. I looked at the teenager in front of me who buried his head and ate furiously. And then looked at my empty wallet. Help. My pocket money for a week. Just gone. Perhaps my gaze was too sultry. The teenager choked and coughed for a while before saying, "I'll pay you back." Gee. I don't believe you. Forget it. I propped my head up to look at him. Consider it a treat. When I asked him why he jumped into the river, he didn't say anything. And when I asked him what his name was, he didn't answer. Finally I got angry. Didn't you say you would pay me back? How can I ask you for it if you don't say anything? He froze for a moment and raised his eyes to look at the name tag on my chest. I'll remember you. I'll pay you back. Me. Kind of wanted to hit someone. On my way out, I turned my head. The teenager was standing under a dim street light, stomping his feet over and over. The temperature in late fall wasn't very high, and he was dressed extra thin. I have walked out several steps, still cannot help but go back. Then, I hitched in a scarf. And next week's pocket money. 14. Liam turns his head to look at me and doesn't say anything. I blushed as I watched. What? What happened? He turned his head. And then? And then? I thought for a moment. Degree no. I never saw him again. But I guess he's doing pretty well now, plus or minus. Liam asked. Why? I shrugged. I don't know. Gut feeling. He didn't seem the same. CJ hung out until it got dark before agreeing to go back. And Liam drove to my neighborhood first. When he got out of the car, he took a bag out of the car. I froze for a moment. What's this? He smiled. A gift. Curious. I stretched my head to take a look, and before I could see it, Liam's hand covered my eyes. Go back and look again. His unique scent instantly drilled into my nose and my cheeks burned, almost falling back to avoid his gaze. When I got home, I leaned against the wall to calm down. It's over, Lila. You've been taken by Liam. My eyes shifted to the gift bag on the side. Anticipation began to build. What could it be? Liam was being so secretive. I carefully opened the bag. Then, lifted an old scarf out of it. What does Liam mean? Liam, what does it mean? I looked at the scarf in front of me and fell into deep thought. 15. Liam perspective. There was an opportunity to transfer to Huangjiang City in the unit. I applied without hesitation. When I left, my senior came to see me off. He patted me on the shoulder. Is Liam really leaving? Why did you suddenly think of going to Huangjiang? He smiled and said, I was planning to introduce my daughter to you. She just graduated from college this year. I said, I've been in love with someone for years. She is in Huangjiang. The senior looked at me with some surprise. Later, I heard that when my organization mentioned me again, they no longer said my name, but used the term big lover instead. I am not a big lover. I am a coward. I secretly followed Lilith's microblog for 3 years, but I didn't even dare to send a private message. What's a coward if not a coward? I never thought I would meet Lila in that situation. She walked out of the subway station in a black coat. I was stunned for a moment when CJ tugged on my hand. Brother. Let's go. This time out. I was taking him to his hobby class. But I suddenly felt that if I missed it tonight, it might be hard for me to see Lila again. As soon as this thought appeared, I had a moment of panic for no reason. Looking down at 5-year-old CJ. I squatted down and looked at him. CJ, see that pretty sister in the black dress? CJ nodded. I smiled. Degree brother will buy you cotton candy/lollipop. Will you do brother a favor? Kids are easy to bribe. One cotton candy/lollipop is enough. CJ followed Lila, while I followed them from a distance. After about 10 minutes, Lila finally noticed the little bitty guy following behind her. She asked around and no one paid any attention to her. I saw her start talking to CJ. I have to say, I'm a little nervous now. I wonder if CJ has memorized my cell phone number. 16. I almost threw my cell phone out when the strange call came in. Hello. I tried to sound as normal as possible. It was Lila who was out of her element. She said, I have your brother. I held back a laugh as the girl in the distance stomped her foot in chagrin. Is kind of cute. After hanging up the phone, I saw Lila untie the scarf from around her neck and then very carefully put it around CJ's neck. The scene reminded me of the first time I met her. She had given me a scarf as well. Seeing that it was about time, I headed over there. The process was smooth. I added her WeChat. I was going to invite her for dinner, but the unit suddenly called to say there was an emergency. When I was leaving, I couldn't help but look back. And she smiled and waved at me. I was a little happy and a little disappointed. Lost that she did not recognize me. Happy that I got reacquainted with her tonight. 17. I've often wondered if Lila would hate me if she knew I was such a scheming person. After all, posing food cart in front of their neighborhood was the same task I snatched from the pack. I was so nervous that I made her a terrible pancake/crepe. Actually, I'm a pretty good cook. Then later, she called me and told me that someone had been illegally detained and was asking for help. I spilled my glass at the flat. I was scared that she had been found by the group. And even more scared of what the desperate group would do to her. Luckily, Lila was resourceful. She hid until I rushed over. I wanted to talk to her more, but the neighborhood moms were just too enthusiastic. I wanted to ask Lila to go to an amusement park. The one she always wanted to go to. But I couldn't find an excuse. Just then, CJ came over with a book. Brother, can you read me a story? I looked at him and crawled up in a flash. The housekeeping aunt was cooking and I said, Auntie, didn't you say that your niece is getting married tomorrow? She froze for a moment. Yes. I told her I couldn't make it. I said, I can't go to my niece's wedding. But you don't have to come tomorrow. I said, I'll reimburse you for the round-trip fare. Back in my room, I took out my cell phone and sent a message to Lila. Are you free tomorrow? Thanks to CJ's blessing, I can honestly call Lila my girlfriend. Although it's fake, I'm still happy. Lila told me the story of how she saved a lost teenager in high school. I didn't say anything the whole time. Just watched her quietly. She said she thought the teenager had a good life now. Her intuition was so right. After all, I now have my cute little brother and have found a girl I've loved for years. I'm really living a good life now. When I was parting, I gave her back the scarf she once gave me. There was no other reason. I just want to be brave in front of her. I'm ready to confess to her. 18. Lila's POV. I launched myself at the old scarf on the bed, thinking a lot and coming up with nothing. How could something be so gripping? Is Liam the lost teenager I once saved? The world was too fantastical. I fell back on the bed and stared at the ceiling. My mind a mess. In the end, only one thought remained. Liam was actually younger than me? And I'm actually having second thoughts about him. Lila, you're a real piece of work. I couldn't figure out what Liam meant. Did he recognize me from the start? Is he trying to trick me by not telling me? The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. I pulled the covers over my head, closed my eyes and fell asleep. This sleep missed Liam's 10 phone calls. The next day, I very successfully fell asleep. Looking at the missed call display on my phone, I agonized for a long time or was ready to ignore it for now. Well, yes. I was still angry. When I was working in the morning, I kept my neck crooked. And my coworker couldn't stand it. Degree Small Lou. What's wrong with your neck? I laughed bitterly. I've fallen off the pillow. She gave me a sympathetic look. There is a new massage store downstairs. You can try it. I took the flyer she handed me and looked at it. It boasted about its own craftsmanship in a variety of ways. I was a little heartened. During the lunch break, I found the store according to the address on the flyer. The service staff was very enthusiastic, pulling my hand and shouting my big sister. I really cannot resist. Did a card. I lay on the massage bed. Behind me to massage the big sister began to gush. Big sister. I will give you a cupping and then mock Sebastian a bit. You, this neck is certainly good. I was drowsy. Good. The music next to me was a bit harsh. I said. Sister. Can you change the music? She froze for a moment. You don't like Jay Cho's songs? I shook my head. That's not true. Can you change it to something that doesn't have an electric sound? 19. I woke up with a start. And big sister had finished working on me. Not to mention, my neck was much better. When I went to pay, the receptionist smiled and said, Miss, you have spent $30,000 this time. Is it by credit card or cash? Me. You can obviously rob the money. But you have to give me a cupping? I laughed. Little girl. You are a scam shop? The receptionist also changed her face. Miss. You've already enjoyed the service. You can't say you won't pay for it now. She's still complaining? Do I look like an ingrate? I put the bag apart. Condescendingly looked at her. My boyfriend is a police officer. You are here to blackmail me? She said. My boyfriend is a police officer. Who wouldn't know how to scare people? She said. My boyfriend is also the chief of police. Ah. Little girls nowadays are so angry. I was about to say something when I heard a noise behind the massage parlor. The girl at the front desk was startled and subconsciously went to get the phone. But someone grabbed it. Don't move. Crouch down. She squatted. I also squatted down. What's going on here? I just came for a cupping. 20. Someone was brought out from the inner sanctum by the police in disheveled clothes. This is my luck. I can't even get into this kind of thing. When a policeman passed by, I hurriedly said, Comrade policeman. I just came to have a cupping. I didn't do anything else. Can I leave first? He looked at me and his eyes lit up at once. What does this look mean? I saw him pulling his colleague to the side, gabbing and not knowing what he was saying. The two looked at me from time to time. I feel that I am like a monkey in the zoo. It's her. Isn't it? Looks like it. One of the policemen smiled and told me. Wait a minute. The other one went straight inside and shouted to the end of the corridor. Small Leong. Come out for a moment. Your girlfriend is here. 21. I'm dead. I've entered the police station by pulling out a can. I'm afraid there's no one else but me. In the end, it was Liam who came out of the police station with me. I covered my face and tried to run away. But he dragged me back by the collar. Watch the road. He sat with me on a bench by the side of the road. And neither of us said anything at first. It was Liam who spoke first. Isn't there anything you want to ask me? Since he asked, I answered truthfully. Me? Yes. The lost boy from back then has grown up. If you don't mind, can you tell me about it? Liam looked up at the sky with a light frown. Let's see. That year was 2012. And it was also the most difficult year for me. I failed the midterm. My family went bankrupt. And my dad was forced to jump off a building. My mom was depressed and thought about suicide all day long. He turned his head to look at me. That night, my mom tried to commit suicide. But I saved her. When she was in the hospital, I went to the bridge and met you. I looked at him with some surprise. I never knew his life was this dark before. Liam let out a breath. You're the one who woke me up by cursing me. I was even more confused. After all, I cursed all the swear words in the first place. Could it be because I cursed a bit like his mom? 22. Liam said his mom remarried when he got into college. And by that time her depression was much better. And CJ was? My mom's kid with my stepdad. He smiled. They recently went out on a trip and left CJ with me. I nodded in understanding. Liam watched me. Anything else you want to ask? I held up 3 fingers with great certainty. There are 3 more. He laughed. Go ahead. Me. How old are you? He. 25. I was relieved that I was only 3 years older than him. I'm only 3 years older than him. So I guess we're a good match. I came back to my senses and coughed. Second question. Why did your colleague say I was your girlfriend at the massage parlor? That's something I've always remembered. Liam froze for a moment and said indistinctly. It was a misunderstanding. He took his wallet out of his pocket. And in the compartment was a photo of a teenage girl's ID. I looked at it expressionlessly for a second. Then reached out to grab it. Help. Isn't that me with the clear stupidity in those eyes? Liam gave way and I fell straight into his arms from inertia. I jumped immediately as if I had been scalded. Why do you have my picture? He said. You threw your wallet at me and left. And the photo was in the wallet. My coworker saw it by chance and said it was my girlfriend. I explained. But they didn't believe me. It's a mess. I don't know who's taking advantage of who. 23. Liam. One last question. I turned my head and looked at him. My eyes pleading. When are you going to pay me back the $100 you owe me? Liam froze for a moment and suddenly smiled. The streetlights were shining on him. And it was a nice sight. Give me your hand. I spread my palm out in front of him. He reached out and took my hand. Now. Do you think I'm worth $100 for this one? I was confused by his question and in a brain fart I asked back. Can I do whatever I want? Silence. Silence is the Cambridge of the night. His palm was hot and his eyes were burning. I was on pins and needles. I was about to snort it off when Liam spoke. He asked me. Lila. Do you want to be my girlfriend? I was shocked. What am I supposed to do with such bluntness? What? Can I do whatever I want to you just because I'm your girlfriend? I retaliated with a strong sense of calmness. But he nodded calmly. That is. The temptation is a little too strong for me to hold on to well. 24. I went home in a daze. Tonight was a magical night. I'm such a maternal single golden girl. Found a date. Ha 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 ha. Woke up 3 times during the night laughing. When I went to work the next day, I had 2 black circles under my eyes. My coworkers were shocked. Lila. You haven't been sleeping very well lately. Yesterday, I fell off the pillow. And today, my dark circles are so heavy. I laughed. It's okay. Ha 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 ha. She froze for a moment. But you're in a good mood. When I was about to leave work, my coworker called out to me. My classmate who introduced you to me earlier. Do you still remember? I can't remember. Only remember a certain period of time, especially want to fall in love. So WeChat added a lot of people. I'm not sure if I've ever had a good time or a bad time. But in the end, they don't want to take care of any of them. I asked her. What's wrong? She was very excited. Degree my classmates said that they happened to come to Huangjiang today and wanted to get to know you. I smiled slightly. But I have a boyfriend. My colleague froze. I continued to add. People's Police. Handsome. Height 185. Good figure. It feels good to have a boyfriend to show off. Colleague. You're pretending. Me. Really? I don't want to talk to someone who doesn't have a boyfriend. 25. When I left the office building after work, I was stopped by a strange man. He said. Hello, Ms. Liu. I'm Jiang Bin. Damn. Why didn't my coworkers tell me that this guy was waiting for me downstairs? I smiled sarcastically. May I help you? He was quite polite. Degree yes. I would like to invite you for dinner. I wonder if you have time? Degree I'm sorry. I have something to do later. Maybe, plus or minus. Before I could finish my sentence, he grabbed me by the arm and dragged me to a corner. I'm sorry. I've got a few things to do later. What's with this guy's hands and feet? Jiangbin explained. I'm sorry. I just saw a man not far away. Has been sneaking around looking at you. I subconsciously turned back to look. But suddenly the person behind me bumped into me. My body fell back uncontrollably. But fortunately someone wrapped their arms around my waist and pulled me back. I looked at Liam, who was close to me, and was confused. Jiangbin was still trying to pull me. This gentleman. Please let go. Liam looked at him and then pulled me aside. He pulled out his police officer's ID. I have some business with this young lady. Please cooperate. Me. That sounded weird. But Jiangbin did walk away. And ran faster than a rabbit. I gave Liam a look. You're so damaging. He laughed and took my hand. What do you want to eat? I'll make it up to you. 26. Later. I brought Liam back home. My parents were very happy that I was able to find someone before I turned 30. They took Liam's hand and said, My little she has taken a lot of trouble for you. She's been disobedient and stubborn since she was a child. So please take care of her in the future. I looked at them expressionlessly. I've never seen anyone so mean to their daughter. However, I obviously underestimated my parents. They told me all the ugly things I've done since I was a kid. What 7 years old picking persimmons on the tree and ended up hanging on the tree. 10 years old fighting with others and knocked out my front teeth. 15 years old selling homework at school and was notified and criticized. My mom is still saying. When I was 17, I was afraid of being scolded for not coming home in the middle of the night. And I found a stray dog. And I lost my pocket money for 2 weeks. Me. This can't be said. But it was too late. My dad was still chiming in. Yeah. She even gave the stray dog the scarf her mom bought for her. This kid may be lacking in heart. But she does have a good heart. Liam smiled and looked over. Stray dog? I cried and laughed. Not really knowing how to explain. Looking at the scrutinizing eyes of the three of them. My legs softened and I directly kneeled down. I've sinned a lot. I'll kowtow to you guys. After I explained to my parents. Their reaction was a bit unexpected. My mom took Liam's hand and got teary-eyed. Son. You've suffered. My dad patted him on the shoulder and said. From now on. We're family. We are a family from now on. It was a joyous occasion. What a loving family. I'm the only outsider. I regret bringing Liam home.